I'm Krista Shenevert. I am a realtor and I serve the amazing people of the Capital Region. And today I'm going to talk about bad offers. So I'll tell you a little story. Recently, I had a home on the market and it went into multiple offers. As the offers were coming in, I was going over them with my seller, and one of these offers was missing all kinds of things and was completely, just a slop kebab mess. One of the major things they were missing was a pre-qual letter. A pre-qual letter is necessary in accepting an offer. It's a letter from the buyer's bank, the lender, saying that, proving that this buyer is qualified to purchase a home up to the asking price. Basically, this agent said that they're good for the money and they didn't need a pre-qual letter. And I was like heck you do. So get me that pre-qual letter. And, they scrambled around to come up with it. But needless to say, me and my seller talked about it, and we really didn't think that offer indicated that this buyer was going to be easy to work with. We just thought that it was really unprofessional and sloppily done. And, it just so had it that their offer wasn't as competitive with the one that we accepted. But even if it was, that was a really bad first impression and an indication that they would be really difficult and messy to work with. So the moral of the story is do the preemptive work to make sure that you are nice and organized and tidy when presenting your offer. So let's talk about the different components of an offer when presenting it. First and foremost, we're going to talk about price. So I always say the buyer doesn't determine the price, neither does the seller. The market determines the price. You're going to find market value by going through the recent comparables. This is when you go through homes that are very similar to the one that you're putting an offer in. You're going to go through homes that are similar in the area that recently sold. And once you go through that data, you're going to find a reasonable and fair price. Do not lowball your offer, and especially in a market like this. You're just going to offend the seller and run the risk of them just throwing your offer out the window. Next, you're going to want to consider the contingencies. Contingencies are anything from the loan that you're taking out, the loan terms, inspections, closing date, maybe if you have a house that you need to sell. You really want to consider your contingencies careful, and in a market like this, you want to be extra careful when considering your contingencies. They are in place to protect you as the buyer, okay? But if your contingencies are too unreasonable, the seller is really not going to want to work with you. Now, in a market like this, I'm seeing it all the time, there are buyers that are not using any contingencies, and that's really, really risky because they're coming into this contract without any protection for themselves. What I always advise is finding a healthy balance, coming up with some contingencies that are going to protect you, but also leave some leverage for the seller so that you can kind of meet in the middle. An example of that would be, maybe it's not appropriate to give up the inspection contingency. You need your inspection on this particular house, but instead of giving it up, you could just put an inspection clause in. So you can still have your inspection, but instead of the $1,500 threshold, you could raise it to, let's just say $3,000. That way you get your inspection, but the seller feels like, they've got some protection on their end, and then everybody's happy and you're more likely to get your offer accepted. Lastly, to reiterate, you want to make sure that offer is clean and tidy and complete. A sloppy offer is going to leave a really bad first impression on the seller. No one wants to be stuck in escrow for months with a buyer who is in disarray, who's disorganized, or dysfunctional. So you'd be surprised how many people get this wrong, but the offer needs to be clean and complete. You might feel like you need some guidance in the process of buying or selling a home. Please feel free to reach out to me and message me if there's anything I can do for you.